Hello, welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me. This is that weekly episode that I do from my car because I have to be at work early. So, again, thanks for bearing with me. We're continuing on in Matthew chapter 21 today. We're going to look at verses 7 through 9. So Matthew chapter 21, 7 through 9 say, "They brought the donkey and the colt and put their garments on them, and he sat on them. Most of the crowd spread their garments on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. And the crowds that went before him and that followed him shouted, 'Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest!'" So over the last couple days, we have covered the happenings that happen when Jesus enters triumphantly into Jerusalem, and we celebrate this on Palm Sunday. This is, of course, one mere week before he was crucified. So, we're coming into a very intense period here in Matthew's Gospel, which covers 8 chapters, ironically enough. So he spends a great deal of time in it because it is very important. Anyway, the verses that we covered today are also important because, let's take verse 7 as an example. "They brought the donkey and the colt and put their garments on them, and he sat on them." So St. Jerome kind of saw this, he used this in another way. So yes, Jesus did ride triumphantly on the donkey. Garments were placed on there so he could saddle him and ride in triumphantly. But Jerome also says that the beast, or the donkey and the colt in this case, are the nations that Christ brings under his lordship. And so Jesus is ushering both of them together, Israel and the Gentiles, into the new covenant of the church. So it's pretty interesting what Jerome thought. And in verse 8, the laying of garments and palms in the path is an expression of homage for a king. And so we see this in the Old Testament as well, in the book of 2 Kings, where garments are laid on the ground for Jehu, who was heralded as the king at that time as well. And then verse 9, we see that familiar term, Hosanna. "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest." Great expression of praise and adoration. And this term here, Hosanna, is Hebrew, and it means save us. So the crowd is yelling Jesus to save them, to save us. And then the term, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord," was a hymn that was sung during Passover. And again, this was sung just mere days before Jesus was crucified. Great significance here. The crowd is telling Jesus to save them, and at the same time singing a hymn that was sung during the Passover. And of course, Jesus was crucified during the Passover. So just think about that. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Daily Bible Podcast, and we'll catch you tomorrow. God bless you guys.